Well, I had a bit of a surprise this morning when I got up. We have had a bit of rain here lately, but nothing remarkable. But when I came out this morning, I was surprised to see this. I even needed the plank. Bearing in mind, that's not the canal. This is. Anyway, it's Christmas Eve and I've left it to the last minute to pick up a bit of turkey and a few other bits that I still need. So I've got to negotiate this for about 1 kilometre to get into town. Going to take an alternative route through these fields, which is at least somewhat better for now. But at least the trolley's still there anyway. I don't think that's supposed to be a lake. Well, I'd already come up here with my trolley, as you could see, and I took the back roads, as it were, the fields, which were pretty much okay, but I knew I'd have to pop out back onto the canal at some point. I'm nearly at the town and the fields become unnavigable now on foot, as it were. It's all lumpy and overgrown and that, and I saw a little snicket back out onto the canal. So I thought that'll do me, but of course that's completely flooded, so the last sort of couple of 100 yards I'm going to have to do, nothing else will get you through except wellies. So I had to leave my trolley here, go back to the boat, get my wellies, and decided to bring the camera and that as well, and wish me luck. Ugh. Oh, I'll have to stop filming for a minute. You can see what I've got to tackle up ahead. I've got to go very carefully along here, because I can't see where the edge of the towpath is and where the river actually starts, and if I step over that I'll be in. So, and the water's flowing quite quickly too, so I don't fancy it, but I'm hoping it's going to get a little bit better quite soon. Winding hole it is now. Well, behind me is what can happen to a boat when you get a flood. It's not so much the water that gets you, it's getting displaced, get pushed onto the bank, then the water recedes a bit and you go tippy. He's looking very precarious there. Well, I'm not more than 150 yards off from the bridge up to the town and away from the canal, but that's if I'm going to make it there. It's getting worse. This is absolutely biblical. wouldn't I get out here while I can? Well, I've made it to the petrol station anyway, so I'm going to get my fill in my jerry can, and the car's nearby. I can pop the jerry can into the car while I go off up to Morrison's and try and get a bit of turkey and do one or two other bits and pieces. At least the sun's out. Keep the wolf from the door. So I'm back at the car. I picked up some turkey in Morrison's and a few other little bits and pieces I needed in the town. Looks like a really nice town actually. I thought it would be. And I just spoke to someone over by the canal who says it's the worst flooding they've had for 10 years here. So yeah, trust me to pick them. If you remember, this time last year I was in Newbury, which was also the worst flooding in living memory, so there you go. But apparently the flooding's eased off a little bit here now, so if I made it up I should make it back. That guy's just walked past, wonders what the hell I'm doing. So if I made it up I should make it back again. The car's got to stay here. This is basically the nearest I can park to the boat, but it's been a useful staging post anyway. So yeah, try and head back. Then I've got everything I need for about 3 days. All I've got to do is make it back before dark. And so I begin my watery descent. Well, it's not too bad if you keep to the edge. Oh, I see that fridge has moved anyway. Because I've got to go round it now. God, what you want in conditions like this is a boat. Oh yeah. Well, that's the way for me, through the hedge and through the fields, because although it's not any worse than it was earlier, some of that path down there gets very narrow in places and I can't remember where, so I'll be better off on dry land, I think. Well, that was pretty difficult getting up that little slippery slope. I nearly went backwards and in the drink, but it's just a couple of fields to go now. Not even a kilometre, probably about 0.7 of a click, so should make it by dark. Well, people pay good money down the gym for this sort of exercise. and I'm getting it for free, so I know whose side I'm on. Oh, nearly there. I've made it. And one of the main reasons why I'm here, look at the solar. It's charged the bats back up to 100%. How good is that? Well, doesn't it just seem as though we were here only the other day? Well, that's because we were. This is my last stock up before Christmas. Those are nice. Now these really are nice. 50p, a Coburg cob from Morrison's, absolutely excellent. And the best thing about them is I always finish the whole thing, because the next day they're just as good as they were when you bought them, and the day after they're just as good again. They just don't go off. So they get completely finished up. Oh, I might as well get a lemon, because somehow that bottle of gin got in there the other day from that Aldi shop. So what can you do? Also probably got some tonic, so probably just have to have gin and tonic with a slice. Turkey gravy, that can be really hard to find some years, but luckily not only was it readily available, but it was on offer, so that's good, because the rest of the year, you know, what are you going to do with it? It all just congeals into one big hard lump by next year, so then you want a new one. Yorkshires, I decided not to bother making my own, although I can do that. But there's no one here to appreciate them, so these will do the job. Bloody great big load of potatoes weighing me down all the way. But it wouldn't be much of a Christmas without those, would it? So I've got petrol, diesel, gas, coal, wood, food and booze and water. Did I mention water? I've got enough water for a few days now. So I've been up to the trolleys, not up to the trolleys, up to the tap with my trolley and a couple of containers. Luckily I did that yesterday before everything flooded. And the main event, it's only a frozen one, all the fresh ones were massive. I mean, even this is for 8 people, so it reckons. But it's got bacon on it and stuffing and everything. and it's, you know, just a breast joint. So normally I'd get like a fresh crown for about, you know, 15 quid or something, but the smallest crowns they had were like sort of 23 quid. And, you know, I don't mind spending the money, but I'm not going to end up wasting it, so it's just pointless. So I think that will be perfectly fine. It'll go me twice anyway. Right, there's a few bits from the pound shop. I'm sure you're not interested in that, so that's your lot. Hello. When I got up this morning, all I'd intended to do today was just go into the town, get a few bits and pieces and return to the boat. But when I realised there was quite a lot of flooding about, I decided it could make for quite an interesting video. It's another one of my day in the life of, which is just like my normal videos, only without any music or narration, and just sort of edited together quite quickly. So I'll put this out as part 2 of my Christmas special, and let me know what you think. In the meantime, a Merry Christmas.